In this video, I'm looking at the PaMu Quiet Mini TWS earphones. Let's do it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. The PaMu Quiet Mini. Now, it's a bit mysterious. There isn't a whole lot of information on the box, but I will share with you what it does say. Obviously, we've got Bluetooth. Actually, it's Bluetooth 5.2 here. Now, these have active noise cancellation, so they do have ANC. They also have a fairly low latency, supposedly. They have an IPX4 water resistance rating, which means they're good for a bit of sweat and light rain. You don't have to worry about getting them wet. And on top of that, they have a 10mm pen, PEN, plus titanium composite driver. Now, I'm not sure what that PEN stands for. If you know, let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, let's get this thing open and have a look inside. You ready? Oh, there we go, there we go. Okay, let's get our first look. Boom, oh, nice, look at that. Very interesting. Please remove the film on the earphones, put the earphones into the charging case and fully charge the charging case. So I'll have to do that before I use them for the first use. But before we do that, we'll have a look at what you get in the box. Here is the charging case. This looks like it's you get a few pairs of silicone ear tips. What do we got here? Oh, a really thick encyclopedia. I don't think I'll need it. Hopefully I won't. Here's your USB charging cable type C, which of course is what we prefer. And you get this sort of vinyl carrying pouch. Oh, another encyclopedia. Look at that. Okay, your documentation, warranty, etc. Let's peel this plastic off. Just comes off like that. Oh, it's this is a pretty nice looking little charging case. Wow, they're actually quite small. They look really cool. So I'm going to take this plastic off here. Put that back in. I'm going to try to put that back in. And looks like they've got some charge in them already. But I'm going to go and give these a full charge and test them out, because I know what you all want to know. You want to know, do they sound any good? Is that ANC any good? What's the battery life? All that stuff we'll let you know in a short time. Alright guys, so I've been using the PaMu Quiet Mini for about a week now, and I'm here to let you know how it went. I'm going to start off with some of the features first, and then we'll get on to the sound. First of all, we'll start with my one gripe, and that is the battery life of the PaMu Quiet Mini. You get about 4.5 hours out of the earphones, and then you get the the kind of standard additional 3 charges. So you get about 20 hours all up. If you're using the active noise cancelling the whole time, you get a little bit less, but you get roughly 4 to 4.5 hours, which isn't bad. It's not terrible, but it's certainly starting to fall a little bit behind at this time. Now, I haven't had any issues whatsoever with connectivity. The Bluetooth connection is flawless. It's very consistent. It works really well. So I just want to show you the PaMu app. Hang on, I'll take the earphones out so we can get hooked up here. Alright, so here's the app. Now, on the main screen here, you can see the 3 audio modes, or active noise cancelling modes, I should say. The first one is transparency, and that's like your ambient mode, where your immediate environment is sort of amplified a little bit, so it's good if you're walking down the street and you want to be aware of your surroundings, or even if you can have a conversation with someone, you don't need to take the earphones out of your ears. So that's a pretty handy feature. Then you've got ANC on and of course ANC off, and I've got to say, For a $69 TWS earbud, these have got really good active noise cancelling. It's excellent actually. I'm really quite surprised when I'm sitting here in my room and I turn the ANC on, suddenly the noise of my air conditioner and my computer just disappears. The hum of those machines just disappear. Of course, you, like all ANC devices, higher pitched and abrupt sounds will still cut through a bit. But for droning engine sounds, like take these on the bus or something, and yeah, really good for cutting out engine noise. These would be great for plane rides and stuff like that. A short flight, obviously, because the battery life, like I said, is kind of meh. But let's have a look at the settings now, because there's some of these are pretty cool. First of all, you get a battery indicator. It shows you the power of each earbud. You can update your firmware from here, but here is something pretty cool. You can actually customize your button functionality, your touch functionality. There are two things you can customize. You double click and press and hold. You can't customize the single touch. The single touch is basically your play and pause control. But with these you can, you can see what's available there. What I really like about this is you can enable volume control, and for me that's a big deal. That is like the number one thing that I kind of want as far as touch features go on a TWS. I don't want to have to physically go to my phone to adjust the volume, especially if I'm like in the working out or just anything, even if you don't want to have to take the phone out of your pocket to change the volume. And so that is a big plus for the Quiet Mini volume controls. Love that. And finally, let's go and have a look at the other setting here. Now, this one here, you can see original sound. What the original sound does is it kind of makes the sound of the PaMu Quiet a little bit more transparent, sort of a little bit more neutral. With the original sound mode off, you get more bass. It's the sound becomes a little bit warmer, a little more colored, and a lot of people are going to like that. But personally, I'm into all these earphones. I kind of expect pretty good audio quality. So for me, with the original sound mode on, you get a little bit tighter bass. It's a little bit less thick and boomy, and yeah, I just find it more pleasing. But it's great to have that option. I think that is awesome. You get this game mode as well, so you can turn on. You get this game mode here as well, so you can turn the game mode on and off. And what that basically does is reduce the latency between the earbuds and your phone. So, which obviously is great for gaming, especially first-person shooters. I found it to work really well. The iPhone in general is pretty good as far as latency is concerned, but there's definitely a noticeable improvement. It's still not quite as fast as the Orvi Studio G, which is, I'll grab it. These have about advertised 50 milliseconds latency, while these are like 70, but both of them work really well. There's a little bit of a degradation in audio quality with the game mode enabled, but it is very minimal. And that reminds me, another thing that I love about the PaMu Quiet Mini here is that regardless of which ANC or sound mode you're in, the quality of the audio doesn't change, and that is a great thing, because some TWS, like the Tronsmart Apollo Bold for example, when you turn the ANC on or off, the sound drastically changes. But here it stays pretty much the same, and that I appreciate that. Okay, so onto the sound now, and the PaMu Quiet Mini, it has your, what I would call a typical entry-level TWS sound signature, which is warm, kind of bass dominant. In fact, I would say it has a fairly similar sound to the Shanling MTW100 or the Sabat E12 Ultra. They're all a little bit on the warm side. They all have a boosted bass level, and they all have sort of middling level of clarity. So you're not going to get the Moondrop Sparks level clarity. This is kind of a high fidelity sounding TWS. It sounds more like a wired earphone really than a TWS earbud. So if you're after a really clean, kind of pristine, high fidelity sort of sound, go for the Sparks. But the thing with this one is you get no additional features. It plays music, that's all it does. With this one, you've got volume, onboard volume controls if you want. You got the button customization, and you've got that excellent active noise cancellation, which does work really well. You get your gaming mode. The overall clarity could be better. It has a very warm sound, a very relaxed sound. So if you're sensitive to treble, this would be really good for you, because the treble is definitely softened. It is laid back treble, and there's no sibilance, there's no harshness or sharpness. Just a cruisy, fun type of tuning that you can listen to for, you know, hours on end without experiencing fatigue. But it's not that high fidelity type of sound that some of you will look for. I think the Orvi Studio G here has slightly better sound quality than the PaMu. Although it does have a kind of a similar sound signature, the bass is much tighter on the Studio G. It's a leaner, faster bass. There's less bleeding into the mid-range. But what I really like about the Studio G is its resolution and detail retrieval, while at the same time having a very smooth and non-fatiguing treble. So I think that one is slightly ahead. But again, the Quiet Mini is the one that gives you the most functionality or the most features out of all these ones. You get the app, you get the button customization, you get the ANC, middling battery life. But for a price of about $69, I think these are pretty good. They look good, they're very comfortable. I think they look great, actually. And you know what? I do recommend these, but keep what I've said in mind. If you're looking for a really audiophile grade sound, you probably won't find that here. But if you're just looking for a fun earbud, you like to play some games, and you like ANC, these are your boys under $100. So that's about it for this video, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, PaFam audiophile style. And if you are new to the channel and you want to see more reviews like this in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.